So for now, decent work. What is about decent work? A work that we can add value to as the UN system using ILO as a conduit prescribed, which I will show you shortly. We are to add value. Indeed, I've told you before, and let me repeat, whatsoever anyone wants to do, be it in finance, banking, law, ADR, industrial relations, HR, whatever you want to do, engineering, it's all about value addition. You have to add value to whatsoever you want to do. And I've suggested to you that appreciative inquiry, if you take appreciative, as you have seen on your screen, is about valuing the act of recognizing the best in people and the world around us, affirming the past and present strengths, successes, and potentials, to perceive those things that give life, whether it's in health, whether it's in excellence, whether it's about economic, social, whatever it is, you have to lift it higher to the next level. You will see, as we go along, you will see the reasoning behind this aspect of it. It's AI in its highest form, not artificial intelligence. That is very cheap. Anybody can go online and deal with it. But we are talking about appreciative inquiry, which has the potential of ensuring that people, depending upon the courses they read and what they want to do in life, they can always respond positively if they add value. If you limit yourself to what you know already and what you have read, what people have said, then you are limited. You cannot add value to such a thing. So that's about appreciative. The inquiry part of it is about exploring, investigation, and to discover the things that you want to inquire about. Inquiry is about asking the questions and to be open, seeing the new icon, the new potential, the new wonderful things that you have never known or seen before. And talking about potential that leads to possibilities. So it is very clear. That's the way it goes. And as you've seen on the screen, synonyms of those things goes with discovery, search, study, and systematic exploration. So appreciative inquiry takes us into the heart of decent work. It's about ensuring that we put together policies and programs and plans and strategies, which you will see the details very soon, to be able to promote decent work. And that's just about what it is. What did the Constitution of Ghana say about these things, to which in some cases we are signatories to from the international community of the ILO. Article 24 through to, I believe, 4 tells you about work. Every person has the right to work under satisfactory, safe, and healthy conditions, and shall receive equal pay for equal work without distinction of any kind. This is the conclusion, if you like, or conclusive portion of, or if you want to call it executive summary of the entirety of the Goal 8 of the UN, on decent work and economic growth, which we will touch on shortly. Our Constitution without the world, because by 1992, this was not part of the system. This was a recent phenomenon. By 1992, Ghana envisaged that we need to have people to undertake, and people must have right to work, and it should be done under satisfactory, safe, and healthy conditions, and to receive equal pay for equal work without distinction of any kind. That is our constitution. Implementation of this will have to go through the Labor Act and LIs that will be there, and best practices by industrial relations practitioners, HR practitioners, and people who have the knowledge and capability of driving this. And it went on to add that in subclause 2, every worker shall be assured of rest, leisure, and reasonable limitation. Recently, when you heard that the president says that, a ministry of one of the ministries, I don't know whether it's tourism and recreation, people may not understand, but that's what the Constitution of Ghana expects, that in the workplace, in the society in general, there must be leisure, recreation. That's what it is intended to be. And it's part of our Labor Act as well. And this is constitutional. Without limitation of working hours and periods of holidays with pay, as well as remuneration with public holidays. At the heart of it, without limitation to working hours. So it goes beyond the periphery of the traditional things we do. And it's because we have failed to add value to what the Constitution prescribes. We have limited ourselves. And no one can blame anybody. Thank God there's a PA, at least for now, that we are trying to fix ourselves well. I hope we can all take advantage of it. It goes further to say every worker has a right to form or join a trade union or of his choice for the promotion and protection of his economic and social interests. So that is the vehicle that you can join, because you may not be able to articulate your views well. If you belong to a union that the leadership can best add value to the things that you want, then of course they can be engaging with the employer in any form or shape to be able to determine these things. And like I've told you before, it's only the security and intelligence agencies and, if you like, the army, the police, that for now, because of our limited capabilities, may not be able to join the unions. But with time, into the future, they can, if everything goes well, like it's done in some countries in the world. Now, Article 36, 10, and 11 also states that the state shall safeguard the health, safety, and welfare of all persons in employment, and shall establish the basis for the full deployment of the creative potential of all Ghanaians. So you see that at the heart of these things are established decent work already. It's only that we have not been able to articulate it well through teaching and learning in our various educational ladders. And so people lack the knowledge and the capability and the ability to be able to deliver on these mandates as properly prescribed in the law. And if you look at 11, it tells you the state shall, not at the pleasure of the state, not at the pleasure of an employer, but shall encourage the participation of workers in the decision-making process at the workplace. So politics means participation in decision-making process. Politics also means somebody you have elected to make decision for and on your behalf. Partisan politics is about the normal, acrimonious NDC, MPP, Afafranto, and the rest of them. But we are talking about decency. The vehicle put aside. The real issue now is about having somebody who should be able to, as an employer, to be able to ensure that people participate. So there'll be no acrimony whatsoever about the decent work, about equal pay, equal work, about recreation, about working, full capacity, and be paid for it. The equal pay that does not mean if you don't contribute to the growth of the economic and the business of the employer, you should be given the same thing like anybody else. No civilized society does that. Now, so we come to decent work and economic growth. And this is intended, Sustainable Development Goal number 8, Goal 8, as prescribed by the UN through the ILO systems, says, among other things, that sustainable promotion of sustainable, inclusive, mind the language, inclusive and sustainable economic growth is about full and productive employment and decent work for all. Full and productive employment and decent work for all. That is what the goals are talking about, and that is what is intended to achieve. So if in the system, strategies, plans, and programs are not properly tailored to bring about bearing this fruit,